Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrick, and alongside me, as always, is the PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Hey, what's popping?
I don't know. What is popping? What is popping, LeRon?
His muscles.
Not what I'd like. Not anything I'd like to actually be popping. I'll say that.
That's not what your shirtless Twitter picture said today.
Oh.
Something hot, sweaty. Also joining us is the Mad Pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Also your resident cat lady.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Resident cat lady. Stray is out. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that. So, yeah. We may or may not be giving it away through our Twitter contest.
Oh, for realsy? For realsies?
Yeah.
May or may not? What do you mean may not?
I got to leave a little suspense to the live viewers
okay.
here.
Then we may not. LeRon, have you not been paying attention to like the first couple minutes when I was
I have. I've been trying to feign surprise.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm ruining everything.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's because you're playing the cat game. How's everybody's week going? As good as mine is?
It's been a dumpster fire of a week. I hate this week.
Yeah. I don't even have words for what's going on.
Everything sucks.
Yeah. Except
for Stray.
It's a week.
Yeah, it's been a week, but not work-wise. It's just been I don't know. I've been trying to retool some things and trying to get some of my life back because as most people know, we do a lot here and it's starting to take its toll on me personally, and I just want to make sure that it's not doing that to everybody else. So we're trying to revamp some
Corey?
things. What?
Corey?
What?
We done tried to toll you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware. I'm just letting people know that some content stuff might be changing in a month or so. That's all. It's more
what? Ultimately, it's going to pay off in the long run because when the content creators aren't burnt out, the quality is better. Right, Corey?
I wouldn't know. I haven't been 100% in about 2 years, so I don't know what to tell you.
Corey's supposed to say you're damn right, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I guess you guys are like my wife and are letting me know I'm having a hard time listening. That's okay. Yeah, so I mean, there's a couple things that are gonna change, right? Like I think we're gonna try to merge standard definition in with a couple other things to try to space out some content and try to save ourselves from, all this whatever is happening here. But we'll let you know at a later date because we want to provide good things here, and I think that we do. I just want to make sure everybody's fresh and not tired and, having a life. So, also, I want to play some video games because that's what I want to do.
Don't we all want to play video games?
And that's why we're here. It's because we love video games.
It's true. They're all right. I'm just kidding. Yeah. My daughter's birthday was this weekend. That was fun.
Yay! She looked so happy.
Yes, she did.
Gosh, she's just all over the place. She's on her fourth or fifth day wearing this Mirabelle dress from Encanto.
I loved it.
And we had to tell her that she couldn't wear it to ballet today.
Oh.
So
how'd that go? Was there a meltdown?
No, she likes her tutu and her leotard and stuff.
Okay.
But as soon as she got home, she put it back on.
Oh.
Yeah, and so, and also while I was at work today, my cousin came over and hung out with my wife, and my my other cousin's kid was with her, and so that she got to play with my daughter, and they never really get to see each other. So that was also nice. So, anyways, enough about my life. We're here to talk about video games. We're here to talk about other things that we're doing. So yeah. I guess we'll start with patrons since that's where we're at. Guys, since the last episode, we have gained a new Patreon producer.
Woo!
All right.
Yeah. So, oh no, there's another blue dot here. That means something else happened. So if you want to support the Boss Rush Network and the Boss Rush Podcast directly, you can head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, and you can subscribe to any tier that you would like. Right now, we have 2 tiers. I'm going to kind of share with everybody what Patreon is for a second. For those who don't know what Patreon is, it is a monthly subscription service that allows fans to directly support their favorite creators. And in return for some perks such as early access to podcasts and other things, we currently offer 2 tiers. Our $1 a month tier, which grants you 1 week early access to the Boss Rush Podcast, Nintendo Power Blocks Expansion Pass, and 2 weeks early access to Standard Definition and Boss Rush After Dark. Our second tier is our $5 tier, in which you get early access, plus you become a Patreon producer. What is that? Well, it means that you get your name shouted out during this segment. So, without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast are Quentin Jackson, Rebecca Jewell, Adriel Munger, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and our newest Patreon producer, our very own Celeste Roberts.
We love you.
So, yeah, I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons, and I want to thank all of our free listeners out there. Remember, if you are listening on free feeds, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes or Spotify. It really helps us out. We really appreciate it. You can also follow the Boss Rush Podcast on Twitter at Boss Rush Podcast, in case you wanted to do that. Anyways. LeRon, what are you playing? Are you playing the cat game?
I am not playing the cat game. I am currently playing As Dusk Falls on PC Game Pass.
What? That's not Monster Hunter.
No, it's not Monster Hunter. I made Stowe a promise that I would actually come with it would come for at least 1 week with a new game. So that's my contribution.
I should probably do that. Take that approach too at some point. Play one new game a week so we can kind of not talk about the same games all the time.
No. It was just one time.
Oh, just one time.
That I told him I will come with a game I'm playing that's not Monster Hunter, because I'm going back to Monster Hunter. We got a DLC drop happening next month for Monster Hunter.
Already?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're adding new monsters to the game.
Okay. If you say so. How's As Dusk Falls? That's from Interior Night, these team that left Quantic Dream to form
Quantic Dream,
studio that kind of does a similar but different thing.
Yeah. Different is definitely the word for it, because I was telling the guys last night on Crossroads, I kind of miss the actual moving polygons. I'm not really the biggest fan of this watercolor storyboarding thing that they're doing. You know.
I feel it's just like that kind of frame motion.
Yeah,
thing.
it's like those interactive comics from way back in the day. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in the year 2022, we shouldn't be doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. Now I know it sounds like I'm being very harsh on the game, but the problem is right now is I've just completed the first chapter of the game, and like I said last night to Stephanie and the guys on Crossroads, is that most times when we play games, typically the characters the characters kind of resonate with us. Usually there's at least 1, maybe 2 characters. By the time you get outside the intro to the game, that you're like, okay, this person is cool enough for me to invest my time in. So far, of all the characters I've met, none of them have actually done anything for me just yet. So I hope I don't wind up going through the motions just to try and beat this game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I did make a promise that I was going to like start streaming and uploading content for this game. So there's that.
Cool. On your
Yeah.
YouTube channel?
Yeah, on my YouTube channel.
What's your YouTube channel, LeRon?
It is youtube.com/exodus803, which is also home to the Crossroads Video Game Podcast.
Yes, our partner podcasts. If you did not know, you should check it out. Stoy,
Yeah, but
LeRon, Andre, Stephanie made an appearance on it this past week. So
Corey's on there every now and then.
sometimes, yes. I hope to kind of make more of an appearance soon. But yeah, man, great. Sounds like a good time.
The one thing I do want to add though, like the game, just because the game's not, swinging on all pistons for me or whatever, turning on all pistons or whatever you want, however they say it, does not mean that the game is in any way
Hitting
bad.
on all cylinders.
There you go, hitting on all cylinders. There you go. Says you. See, I'm not a gearhead, so yeah.
Neither am I.
But yeah, just because it's not doing what I would like for it to do for me does not mean that this game is not going to do it for you if you are interested in this type of game. It's if you have Game Pass or PC Game Pass, definitely give it a try. Stuff like that. I like narrative style games, so that's kind of my investment right now. Like I like these type of games because God, like I can play Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain, and just have a blast. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to do a replay of that and actually stream that soon. But yeah, like give it a try. I mean seriously, like this is this company's debut game. So give it a try. You might actually surprise yourself how well you like it.
Yeah, the more you talk about it, the more I really want to give it a shot. But
yeah,
it's gonna have to wait.
This seems more like a game up Stephanie's alley, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying everybody should try it, but if you have like a passing interest in it, just go ahead and give it a try. Like, at least now while it's a free download, because who knows when it might go off the Xbox services.
Well, Microsoft published it, so I think it's there to stay.
Okay.
At least it seems like it anyway.
Okay.
Stephanie, you want to talk about the cat game?
So, as y'all know, I finished Ghost of Tsushima, which I want to share as part of show and tell. That I got this as an impulse buy.
Ooh.
I don't even have a CD player, but I got it. Ghost of Tsushima soundtrack for those that cannot see it. It's got I can do math, 23 songs, 2 discs. I just love the music. Love music. This kind of what's now one of my favorite soundtracks. Why is there food on it? Good thing I didn't open the wrapper yet. But yeah, so that's my show and tell of the day. And I have been playing the cat game from day one. I mean, I checked after midnight, it wasn't up yet. I checked first thing in the morning, it wasn't up yet. And finally at 11:30, when I started at work meetings, I downloaded it. And it's fantastic. I don't know how much I should talk about it. I'm probably within 2 or 3 hours in to the game.
Just talk about it. Who cares?
Yeah, talk about it.
Spoilers for Stray, the cat game.
No, not really spoilers, because I haven't gotten that far in yet with spoilers.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, okay. You play as this adorable ginger cat, which I have a very soft spot in my heart for orange cats because I have an orange cat and I bought her a little backpack so she looks like the stray cat. And you have a little family that lives in what looks like a post-apocalyptic world where you see a lot of like man-made structures like concrete walls, but there's a lot of overgrowth of plants. So some things happen. And they ease you into the game where you're just in this one area and you interact with the cats. You learn to meow, you learn to socialize with the cats. And then you guys go for a walk when the rain stops. And unfortunately, one of the rusty old pipes breaks from beneath your paws and you fall deep down into the sewers and you end up in what's called the Dead City. Like, if that's not on the nose, I don't know what is. It's creepy. It's gross. It took this turn that I didn't think. I'm very curious to find out what it... Oh, I kind of know what it is now. You know in The Last of Us, the premise is like there's this fungus overgrowth and people
Yeah.
turn to zombie. So and if you search through some parts, you'll see overgrowth of fungus. So there's this like pink goopy thing that you see growing in the alleyways here, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Last of Us, there's fungus here or something.
Right?
No trace of humans. Eventually you'll see some AI robots, and the first time they see you, they panic, they hit an alarm and run away from you. Yep. But then they say, oh, you're not a Zerg, which I'm not a fan of the name Zerg. Like, really?
Buzz Lightyear.
Exactly. That's what I thought of.
By the way, coming to Disney Plus August 3rd.
All right.
Not that
I'm going to
anybody
watch
cares.
it. I heard it didn't do so well, which
Yeah.
makes me sad.
Well, it's because everybody wants Toy Story, and this isn't Toy Story, right? I mean, that's the...
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, people just appreciate with the product
I'm
that's
sorry,
put
was
in front
that
of
too
you.
strong? Was that too strong? I'm
Also,
sorry.
not Tim Allen, it's Chris Evans, but...
Oh,
Which
no,
which makes it definitely worth your damn coin. Watch
Right,
the fucking
LeRon?
movie.
no, I'm on your side.
I mean, I'm going to watch it when it hits Disney Plus. I just don't like going to the theater,
That's fine.
so...
Anyway, bottom line, you have a robo companion who lost all his memory, so you have a memory collection optional quest, I guess, so to speak, and your whole premise is to escape the dead city
Man,
and
this
return
sounds
to
like-
your family.
This sounds like a whole basket full of pathetic. God.
Pathetic?
But
Yeah, I mean, this poor kitty like falls down a chasm and winds up in this whole different world, separated from family. And you have this robot companion that has like no memories of nothing, and like humans are gone. Like, God,
That's
it's
not
There's
his
starting to
fault.
sound depressing.
There's a lot of mystery, lots of things that I can't wait to find out, like what happened to the humans, which, by the way, the robots refer to us as the soft ones.
The soft ones.
Yeah.
Oh.
So wait. The robots aren't. So you don't think the robots are involved in like the human extinction?
Who knows? Because that could be part of the story twist. But all I know is that humans existed at one point. They created this isolated area to protect them from the outside. So that's a common thread, right? We humans, we've effed up the planet because we pollute it and didn't give a crap, and now we pay for our consequences. So that they must have created this safe area to protect them from the elements. But the robots just say, oh, the humans eventually died out. And you're starting at the lowest level. You're in the slums. So what I like about the game is obviously you play as a cat. I can meow and make people drop stuff and piss people off.
Mhm.
It is very immersive. Like I said this before Stray started. I was interested in the mechanics of gameplay when you play as a cat, because you can jump and fit into smaller things. The graphics are really, really nice. There's a lot of contrast with neon color in an otherwise dark area. The controls are very smooth. There's been a couple of glitches. Nothing very game breaking, but I've seen a couple glitches here and there. It's very endearing. I'm emotionally invested. It's linear. It's a very linear game. Maybe some people might be turned off by that because we're so used to everything being an open world now.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it because even though you're supposed to follow this one path, you can still explore the slums and find and discover a lot of things, collect memories, collect music sheets, collect energy drinks that you can sell to the robot for merch or something. So
It's how the humans died. They drank too many energy drinks.
energy drinks. Yeah.
Whoops.
And so what I've achieved was I helped install this antenna to be in contact with, I don't know, more AI on the next level. And I need to find a way to equip myself with either a weapon or something to protect myself from these Zergs, which they look like just fleshy rats with one eye. That's what they look like. They're these things.
Sounds riveting.
Yeah, it is riveting because I want to fight back, because so far all I can do is evade these enemies, and it's annoying. Like, I like to play games with guns blazing, not avoid and hide,
Yeah.
which has been the game so far. So yeah, it's considered an adventure game with quote unquote platforming and puzzle elements. So that is Stray, and hopefully I'll be able to play a bit more of it in the next day or two so I can have a review before the week is out.
It kind of surprises me that this is not an open world game, because you think a game with a cat that like is going to explore like would be an open world. Like you could kind of go anywhere. Like I almost kind of like the way this game looks. I almost imagine that you're in like a cyberpunk style night city in a way, and like you're just kind of roaming the city. Like that's kind of what I initially thought maybe this game would be. Obviously not that big because it's a smaller team, but
I think that's kind of what the constraints were, but I could tell they tried because I spent a lot of time just kind of meandering through the alleyways and I have discovered places, but it's still limited, you know.
mm-hmm. Cool.
Well, the one thing I know for sure is like Steam, like on Steam, like this game broke records for Annapurna.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, since I'm in the I have the article up just super quick. So the game launched yesterday, July 19th, and day 1, release day, the Steam's concurrent player count peaked at 62,963. Now to put that in perspective, Annapurna's previous high numbers for peak concurrent players was 12 minutes at 8,021. So a jump from 8,021 peak concurrent players to 62,000, almost 63,000.
Nearly 8 times the amount.
And that report also stated that only 12 other games have beat out Stray as far as with those numbers, and that's with titans like FIFA 22, Grand Theft Auto, and Apex Legends. So the fact that, I mean, it's up there on launch day is incredibly successful. So shout out to Annapurna and Blue 12 Studio.
I mean, I know I've been giving this game a hard time because I don't like cats, and I just like to make fun of people who like cats. But I'm glad like this game kind of found an audience, and I mean, video game culture is, you know, has too many cat memes. So like, I'm glad that the two things are coming together into one kind of game that everybody's enjoying. So
yeah, that's what I've been playing. What have you been playing?
Yes, tell us.
Besides avoiding everything, no, I've been playing some more Death's Door. I'm on the second to last boss, but I'm going back and trying to upgrade some stuff and do some of the extra things before I go through, because I tried the second to last boss once and it was just kind of like, if I don't upgrade some stuff, this is going to take me forever. So I'm going through and kind of upgrading weapons and upgrading my health and upgrading my magic and finding the more powerful item for the item, right? And it's just, it's super fun. I am getting to that point to where like I feel like I've been playing this game too long, you know, because I think I've talked about it on 5 shows in a row now, which is like a lot for a 10, 12-hour game. So I've been playing that. I played some MLB The Show, because it's the Nintendo Switch free trial thing for Nintendo Switch Online.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. Like, it's cool that they got this game running on it, but like I'm glad I didn't buy it because I got my fill within the first 2 nights of the game being out.
Oh yeah.
Not that I'm not like a big baseball fan, right? So like you know, I'm not gonna like buy it or you know, really, but like I'm glad I got to try it. It's cool on Switch, although I can definitely see where they had to like cut corners and cut things to get it onto the system, you know. And also on TV mode, it looks like hot garbage compared to the PlayStation version. But
no surprise there.
I mean, it runs at 800p and it runs maybe at 30 frames a second. So you can definitely tell that it does not run at a full 30 frames a second, though, sometimes. Especially when there's like fireworks going off when you hit a home run, it's definitely running at like 20. Maybe.
Oh, wow.
Maybe sub 20. But I'm glad I tried it. It's cool that it runs on Switch, and I could definitely tell people who, you know, are huge baseball fans
Mm-hmm.
will definitely want to take this on the road with them. So it's cool. I played some Destiny 2. That's, just playing Destiny. Just playing with my friends on the weekend and trying to finish up my season pass because I realized this is like the first time in about 2 years that I haven't finished it by now, and the season ends in 4 weeks, so got to do that. But I don't know. This season is just not grabbing me like the past seasons. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because we've been playing for so long, because I do a Destiny podcast and trying to keep up with that as well as, I don't know. The season is in like, not that it's not fun for some people, but Solstice is the big summer event that happens every year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's widely considered the worst kind of seasonal event of the year every time it comes around.
Okay.
And there's Guardian Games, which is like their spoof on the Olympics every year in the spring, and then the summer event is Solstice of Heroes. Their Halloween event is called Festival of the Lost, and then their winter event is called, what is their winter event called? I always forget what their winter event's called. But anyways, this is kind of like, this is the event that nobody plays. And they did add a new element to it called Bonfire. And I think I'm going to try it this week. The Dawning is the winter event. This where you go around and bake Christmas cookies and take them around to people. And
Ooh.
you get things for completing tasks and stuff. But this is like, they give you a set of armor for completing this, and if you complete certain tasks, you get different ornaments and glows for your armor, and like the armor just looks real stupid for the character that I play, so it's not even worth it. But I play a Titan, and the Titan armor is just never any good for these events. But yeah, I mean, I've been playing with my friends, and we're just kind of grinding out our season passes because we want the armor that comes in the season pass and the weapons and the craftable elements and stuff that you get for doing it. So
Nice.
I've been playing that, and then I also have been playing a lot of Tetris recently. It's weird because I know Tetris is kind of stressful, but it's kind of like a de-stressing game for me. I don't know. I've been on a Tetris kick lately, and it's kind of helped me not stress out about a bunch of stuff that's going on. So that's it. I mean, I haven't really played a lot of anything, but I hope that changes because I kind of want to start streaming for Boss Rush. But
That'd be nice. Yeah.
in order for that to happen, I need to change some things that we do. And I think it's just going to be a new way that we deliver content. It's not necessarily going to be all about podcasts anymore. But I mean, like I said at our meeting the other day, it's kind of like turning a cruise ship. Just got to like turn it and get there eventually. I was talking to Celeste today. I was like, yeah, some of the stuff, like I would like to make it happen in August, but August is 2 weeks away, and I'm going to be out of town next week for...
That's freaking me out that August is so close. Where does the summer go?
I know. It's insane. Yeah, and Ed and I were talking on Monday night after Power Block, and we were talking about how it feels like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was just announced, and it's a week away. And it was announced in February, I think.
That came fast.
Yeah. That's what she said. Ah.
If only Advance Wars comes just as fucking fast.
February 24th, 2023, LeRon. Mark your calendar. Gotta buy a new one.
Don't rub it in.
I'm not rubbing it in. I'm letting him know.
Is that official?
It's the penciled in date. It's It's the penciled in date, LeRon. I don't know.
You need to be glad. You need to be glad we're on Twitch because I would send you the middle finger right now.
It's fine. Only nipples are banned, LeRon. Fingers are not banned.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Look, LeRon, the game I wanted to come out this year got delayed too, okay? Zelda got delayed. It doesn't even have a date, so I feel you, man. I feel your pain.
It's okay. I got Monster Hunter to keep me warm.
That's true.
And Callisto Protocol is coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. See? Someone commented on our Stray post, a cat that's praying.
A cat that's what?
That's praying.
Oh.
It's kind of cute.
Huh.
So yeah, that's kind of all I've been playing. Haven't watched anything. Oh, I've been watching the Orville. I'm on season 2 now.
Yay! How do you like it?
I mean I like it. It's not like the greatest show in the world or anything, but it's fun and it's super funny and I like the characters and that kind of stuff. So it's fun. It's fun.
Nice.
I like it. Like I mean, it's a show that I'm going to continue to watch because I like it and I'm invested.
Yeah, some episodes are better than others too. Some are like, eh.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of like the dating storyline. Are they?
Yeah.
Aren't they together? Are they going to be? I'm kind of tired of that storyline, but everything else is pretty.
Yeah, it's not necessary, honestly.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anybody have a topic?
I think LeRon has one.
I do have a topic.
Bring it, LeRon.
Okay, so we all consider ourselves gamers and stuff like that. Some of us have long storied histories in gaming and stuff like that. What I want to present to you guys tonight is I want to present this 2-part question. What is a trend, a fashion in gaming that you miss, and what is a trend in gaming that you wish would just go away?
Oh, I thought you said fashion for a second. So it's just trends in general.
Yeah, what's a thing about gaming? It doesn't even have to be anything super popular. It doesn't have to be this current rush of free to play shooter games and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be anything like all crazy or whatnot. It can just be.
I know some of that can require thinking, so I can kind of go first because I did have one that did go to top of mind.
Okay.
And that is, and I think it's going away. And you're gonna have to help me verbalize this better because I've had a day. The trend I wish would just die in a fire, and it's not because I don't like the trend itself. It's the fact that it's become so trendy. Like when you hear that same song over and over and over and over again, you just went from loving it to hating it. And that's all that retro 2D 8 or 16-bit video games that have been coming out just for the sake of looking retro. That trend needs to die in a fire.
I definitely get what you're saying because even though these games look all retro, like 8 and 16-bit, they actually play like current games, and stuff like that. Like you've got these games that look like an old Super NES game, but they have the depth and complexity of like Hades.
Right, and I get it. There's nostalgia. There's a market for that. I'm nostalgic for it at times, but it got to the point where almost every other game was your 8 or 16-bit pixel art type game.
Right.
And I feel like it just comes off as a money grab because sometimes the quality ain't that good either. So I just really wish that would slow down because it becomes so saturated, I can't enjoy it anymore. And one that I kind of looking forward to, and it's only because I know it's coming. So as you guys know, I'm not a horror fan. I don't like horror games because I'm a big weenie. However, I'm slowly working myself up there. Guess what I think is the next biggest trend and what I'm looking forward to is those sci-fi horror games. Look at all these sci-fi horror. Dude, Summer Games Fest was like nothing but sci-fi horror games that are coming out. So I am looking forward to that.
Stephanie, we should stream Resident Evil in October.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about the non-scary ones like 1 and 0. I'm talking about 2. I'm talking about 7.
Wait. 1 is scary. What are you talking about?
1 is not scary.
I got Resident Evil 2 remake.
Wait. Says the guy who does not play scary games.
I don't play scary games, but I've played Resident Evil 1 like probably 5 times. It's not scary.
Are we talking about the GameCube remake?
Yeah.
No, you need to be playing it back in the day on PS1.
No, I'm not playing with characters that look like they came out of Minecraft. No thanks.
That's fair.
I like, no offense to the PS1, but I just about 90% of the games on that console look like complete garbage. That whole era,
Wait.
that whole era of like,
Is that like the
entire-
Uncanny Valley type?
The
graphics?
entire era
I'm talking
of those Breakout 64 games. So
I'm
we're talking
getting
about Nintendo
there.
64,
If you would let me finish my
PS1,
sentence.
Sega Saturn. Go ahead.
No, you already said it. I don't have to finish. You finished for me. Thanks,
Good.
wife. No, I was saying like 90% of the stuff on PS1 and like probably like 80% of the stuff from that era just looks like unappealing. And like we're starting to get games, like people are nostalgic for that era, and we're starting to get games that look like that era.
That look like that shit. And
Yeah,
I was like,
and
what
I'm
are you doing?
I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I remember playing the original Tomb Raider games, and like, I could barely tell like what was a platform, what was a wall, and what was Lara at that point.
Was
like,
she really a woman? Yeah.
like, what is
Well,
happening?
yeah, she's got those pointy
Oh,
triangular tits.
Yeah,
Sorry. Oh, was I not supposed to say that on stream?
I don't care what you say.
Oh, I just can't show them. We can say the
Yeah.
word. Okay,
You can say nips, you can't show the nips.
gotcha.
So, triangle tatties is what we're calling them.
Yeah.
And like even like a lot of the Nintendo 64 games are still like, this is, I don't know. I think the only thing that saves the Nintendo 64 as opposed to the PlayStation is that like they're complete polygons with just a color on them instead of like using pixels to try to shade the polygons, which is what PlayStation tried to do. And a lot of the time it just didn't look right, you know? But the stuff that I think still looks pretty good on PlayStation is like the Crash games, Ape Escape. I mean, anything 2D, like Castlevania looks amazing still. But I mean, you get into stuff like I said, like Tomb Raider or Cool Borders or Jet Moto or even Gran Turismo, man. It's like, oh my gosh, what am I looking at? And Gran Turismo, I think, is like up there in terms of looks. So, but like, I mean, even something like Mario Kart 64, I think looks like trash. I think Mario Kart 64 looks ugly. That game is ugly.
No. Even for someone who loves N64, I have the biggest nostalgia itch for that. It's it aged horribly. Horribly.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually, it didn't so much age horribly. It was horrible. I mean,
Hey! But back
no. Like I said earlier, like that. Okay, my problem with how we got this, when we stepped into the 64-bit era of gaming is that I was still one of those people that actually love playing like video games and they look like interactive cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that, and stuff like that. So it was a really hard adjustment for me and stuff like that, which is kind of why, I was like, if I'm gonna play actual games, like I couldn't play all like the little chunky, like like the chunky feel good stuff, and I guess I did take a bit of that frustration out of Nintendo 64 because Nintendo 64, was still going with Nintendo's mantra of being kid friendly and stuff like that. There were no M-rated games on that system, so it was. So that was the other thing too. Like I was growing up, I was like, those games weren't doing it for me that much, like shoot, like it's funny how when you get older, like some things just like you just lose sight of some things. Cause I mean,
Yeah.
I still like watching cartoons, but I don't go after the new stuff, things like that. Same thing with games and stuff like that. Like this, like I matured and like I realized it's in a certain corner of the world, games were maturing right along with me and stuff like that. So that's how I wound up in the Nintendo 64. I'm sorry, in the PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn's lap.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still stuff on N64 and Saturn and PS1 that look good, for the time, right? Like, I mean, I still think Mario 64 looks pretty decent for that time.
Mario 64 looks great.
I think the Zelda games for the most part look pretty good.
Okay,
I
I
do
beg to differ.
I do want to say, however, that whatever they're doing for emulation on Nintendo 64 online for Switch looks pretty good. Like I think the Zelda games look really good on N64. I think Mario 64 looks good. I think Star Fox looks pretty good. Now you get to stuff like Winback and F-Zero and stuff like that. You're just like, oh boy, what are you doing here, Nintendo? But for the most part, some of these things look pretty good.
Side note, GameStop has 50% off PlayStation games because we all need to spend more money.
I don't have a PlayStation.
Wait, what PlayStation games? PS1?
No. Sorry. No, just in general. Like, I've been keeping my eye on Ghostwire Tokyo. So, like, this would be a good time for me to consider getting Ghostwire Tokyo or the Quarry.
Isn't Ghostwire Tokyo already cheap, though? I think it's
$60.
Oh.
It's not, I believe.
It's on sale for $30 now.
It's $30 on Amazon.
Yeah, like it's $30. It's been $30 for a while.
The physical is $30 on Amazon.
For PS5?
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. 50% off.
Then why is GameStop trying to sell it for $60?
Because it's GameStop.
Because it's GameStop. GameStop upcharges stuff just so they can put it on sale.
Did you know they raised the price of their used games again?
Amazon said its original price was $59.99, but now it's 50% off.
Amazon's required to put the MSRP there now, like the original MSRP. Now,
yeah, like I was watching a video from Game Ranks last week, and they said, and they were saying that you can currently grab like Ghostwire Tokyo, like because Ghostwire Tokyo is supposed to be under $40.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that game's been out long enough. Like shit, I was in Best Buy the other day and saw a Deathloop for PC for $20. I was a little mad because I got it for $30. I was a little mad about that.
Ghostwire Deathloop on PS5 is currently $38.97 on Amazon for the deluxe edition. I don't know what that gets you, but
anyway, sorry. Back to trends, or
I mean, even like, I would argue that even some GameCube and Dreamcast stuff still looks pretty rough around the edges sometimes. PS2, Xbox era stuff. So yeah, what were we talking about? Things that we want to stay and things that we hate go away.
Trends that we like, trends that we want to see more of, or we would like to see as a trend. So I said a trend that I hated was the obnoxious overproduction of like pixel games for the sake of feeling retro, and something I'm looking forward to being a trend is all these sci-fi horror games.
Things that I want to go away. Open world 70-hour games, please. Like I
do feel some games are getting so long.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them like once in a while, but everything is just becoming this open world immersive game where it takes 9,000 hours to complete, and it's like I don't have time for to play 6 games a year that do that, and B, it's like the ones that I do, it's like by the time I get to it, I'm gonna be so burned out because I just played 3 of them, So I like what I really want to come back is like the Uncharted style action game or Tomb Raider, right? Like, I am shocked that more games like Uncharted and Tomb Raider don't exist. Shocked.
It's so niche. That's the problem.
But
it's so niche.
It's a third person action adventure game. Why is that so niche?
Yeah, true. But at the same time, like it's not not Halo. It's not Call of Duty. It's not PUBG. It's not Fortnite. But it's niche right now.
But Uncharted 4 sold like 15 million units.
Yeah, it did. I hear you, man. I hear you.
I don't know. I like half of me wants to get a PlayStation just to play Uncharted again because I miss those style of games. But that's just me, I guess. I did see a PlayStation out in the wild at Best Buy the other day, though.
Mm-hmm.
I also saw Horizon Collector's Edition, the big one, $250 one with the robot in it. But I didn't get it. Thought about it, but I didn't. I think my wife would have murdered me if I came home with a PlayStation and a $250 video game. That's okay, though. Next time. I did see that, like, the demo unit, that was the first time I saw a PlayStation 5 in person. Where are you guys storing that thing? LeRon, is it under your bed? Like, Jesus, the thing is
My
huge.
PlayStation? Actually, right now, the PlayStation is downstairs in the living room.
It's so big.
Usually it sits right here at the edge of my desk.
It's so big. Like, I knew it
was... Trust me, you have to stand it up because, like, laying it down looks... I was about to say the R word, but, you know...
Yeah.
Apparently, it's taboo to say that word, even though I grew up saying that word. I you know, like the way I use the word is not an insult. Actually, the way I use it is not an insult. So I don't understand it. But you know, like people are sensitive about it, and I understand. You know, that's all I'm gonna say without making it seem like I'm an insensitive bastard, nothing like that. But you know,
you are, LeRon. How dare you?
We are all insensitive.
Well, I'm definitely insensitive to people that think Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are like the best Zelda games. I'm definitely insensitive.
Stop.
Look,
Stop.
if I have to suffer because of Advance Wars not coming out anytime soon, like y'all have to suffer me talking shit about your favorite games.
Yeah, where was I going? Oh, yeah. So like, I kind of want
topic, Corey.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, LeRon distracted me.
How did I distract you?
I don't know.
You asked me a question about the PlayStation.
Look, oh yeah, we were talking about how big the PlayStation is. Yeah, I saw it and I was like, man, I literally don't have anywhere that would fit that. First of all, like I just don't. You know, the Xbox is like the limit, and it's standing next to my TV. It's not even in the entertainment center. It's just sitting next to my TV, and it's just like, man, what? I hope they figure out some sort of redesign soon, because like it's getting to the point where like I'm starting to think about maybe getting one, and I don't want something that big in my house.
Newsflash: I don't think they can make it much smaller. I really don't. Like,
you didn't see the YouTube channel where the guy made it. He put it in the Xbox Series S casing.
What?
He like took it apart.
How well does it cool?
He said it cools better because there's more ventilation, because there's ventilation in the top of the unit. Maybe it wasn't the Series S box, but it was something similar.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't. No, I usually don't go after videos like that. If I'm being honest, I usually don't, because like I don't know. I don't like seeing tearaway videos unless it has like a real purpose, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like doing something like that, in my opinion, like that's just.
Well, the thing he took out was like he took out there's like what's it cooled with, liquid metal or something? The cooling
liquid metal?
Yeah, and he replaced the cooling system.
What did he replace the cooling system with? Is my question.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Find me the link. I'll look at it. Free to play gaming, like I said, I love free to play gaming to a certain point because it's free and you get to play games and stuff. And I understand like these guys have to pay for their servers and stuff and things like that, but they gouge the literal fuck out of us with some of these with some of the pricing and stuff like that, you know. And also like, you ever play a free to play game and you know, like you play like 5 levels of the game and the game is fun, and all of a sudden it's like balls crushingly hard to where like you have to resort to spending like 10, 20, 40, 80, $100, you know, to actually start having fun again. But the only problem is that currency that you spend in the game, all of a sudden it devalues itself probably within the first 10 minutes of you playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's that stuff. It's annoying, and the companies know what they're doing, because I mean, you know, like I hate to say it, but nothing inside a game should put somebody back $100. You know what I mean?
Right. And I understand that gaming is a business. Fine. If you want to make some money, yeah, sure. But at the same time, the majority of those practices in free-to-play gaming I consider absolutely predatory in my opinion.
They are. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and the crazy part is, like, you know, like, okay, say for example, I feel like what a lot of companies should do, you know, I can't really tell companies what they can do, but I feel like I can suggest, if you have somebody who's technically a whale, like, you know, and can throw all this money in there, you know, that's good. But also, I feel like they should get rewarded. Like, you know, they should wind up with like frequent flyer miles or something. You know, like
Yeah.
if they're gonna spend this much, you know, like they should get like a decent kickback. You know, like after you spend so much money, you know, like on this game, you get a permanent discount on your future purchases. You know, and stuff like that. You know, things like that. You know, just something you know,
Give back.
because like some people really are about like these games and stuff, and they don't mind spending money here or there and whatnot. But you know, like the moment it becomes a slog or a chore and stuff, then you start feeling like you got ripped off. You know, and yeah, like to a certain extent, it's your fault, the gamer, that you're throwing this money into it. But at the same time, you know, it's like these companies, and here's the other thing too, you're throwing all this money into these online, you know, mobile, whatever they are, free to play games and stuff like that, you know, stuff like that. And what if you just drop like $100 and then at the end of the week you get a notice saying that the servers are coming down, the game is ending.
Yeah.
That's
Stuff
happened.
like that.
That's happened on Xbox before, where Microsoft ended up refunding the people directly.
Oh, some of these companies don't do that now.
I know, but no, this was a third-party game that was shutting down their servers.
Oh, Microsoft.
And
Microsoft
turned
stepped in
around. Yeah, and they like asked people if they wanted like Microsoft credit or if they wanted their money back, because like one takes longer than the other to process. But like they did do that. I forget what game. You know what it was? What was that? There was a TV show on Sci-Fi that had a game also, like a MMO with it, and the events of the MMO were going to affect the next season of the TV show.
I know, because I love
Defiance.
that damn show.
Defiance.
Yeah, I love the show. I could not get down the game.
Well, the MMO supposedly went offline, and like they had released like a new kind of expansion that was supposed to affect the season that had just gotten canceled or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like they ended up taking the servers down for that game right after this big expansion that they released, and Microsoft, I think, ended up refunding like a majority of the players.
Wow.
I think it was Defiance. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the game it was.
So here's my question. I wonder how badly Microsoft kicked that company's ass.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of companies that Microsoft's mad at with some of the stuff that's been delivered recently.
Oh, yeah.
Or not delivered in Platinum's case.
You know, it's a fad. Well, I don't know if you want to call it a fad, but just to contribute to the conversation, what I wish would come back as a fad, but I know for a fact it never will, because we're living in an increasingly digital world, is like beautiful physical like gaming guides, you know, like the ones by Piggyback.
Yeah.
And they do some, but it's a few. Like I think the last one Piggyback did was Cyberpunk, and before that was Breath of the Wild. Again, I know it's not going to happen because we live in a digital world, but just stuff. Oh man, like
I really miss those nice Zelda guides. Like it was from like I want to say Twilight Princess, the original release, to I guess it would be Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess HD, one of those games. Okay. Like they all look the same. They all had that nice kind of like leather cover. They all had the Triforce on the front, and all had like the border around the cover was like whatever that theme was. Like the Wind Waker one is super pretty.
Yeah.
And that's the Skyward Sword guide that I have two of, Stephanie.
Which I still want.
I know.
That's the other thing too. Like collectibles that actually look like they're worth something. You know.
Thank you. Not this cheap, small garbage.
Yeah.
Ugh, yuck.
Yeah. Something I missed and I kind of wish would come back in gaming. And it's actually a style of gaming. It's not so much like any particular thing. Like I wish the rhythm games would kind of like get back to like that glory that it was. And I'm not talking about like what we wound up with like 17,000 peripherals for the same games franchise. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like all those controllers for like Guitar Hero and, you know, like Rock Band and all that stuff, you know. But you know, something a little more streamlined, or you know, or one size fits anything, you know.
Okay, yep, no, I agree, because that's become very niche, like, and
Yeah.
far and few between.
Look at
Ooh,
that.
there it is.
Yep. Can you see it? I'm pointing it at the other camera, not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still sealed, still has like all the paperwork. There's like one
Oh.
small scuff on the plastic, like the cellophane.
Well, now I don't want it anymore.
I mean, the book isn't scuffed, it's just the cellophane. But
LeRon, I think you hit the nail on the head too. Like, see, it's stuff like that. So there are collectibles out there, but I feel like the quality, the majority of the quality is not up to snuff, or if it is, it's just ridiculously expensive. These things are getting pricey.
Or it's like what pisses me off, right? Is like, for example, that book that book that Corey just had, right? For example, like I've actually had this happen to me where, like, you know, you break the seal on it and stuff, and you're not even like rough with it, but you know, like you're flipping through the pages and a page is like easily tears, like, you know, it's like all you did was flip the page and like all of a sudden, you know, like it's on the floor and it's like,
yep,
excuse me.
I could show you my Ocarina of Time guide. It's so trashed.
It's like damn, like you couldn't use poster board for this shit. Come on, you know how this shit's supposed to go. You know, like I feel like especially like with strategy guides and like art books and stuff like that, it's going to get some mileage. So I don't understand why they use the cheapest
right?
shit possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I like the other thing too about collectibles is like they're starting to sell collector's editions without the game inside. Like the God of War Collector's Edition comes with a steel book, but does not come with the game. I'm like, what are you doing?
So it doesn't come with a digital game either, right? It's just.
I think it's just the steel book.
Yeah, just a steel book. Yeah, there's a lot of that. So you got to really think: are you this big of a collector? It's just gonna buy a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, and like a lot of these third-party companies that release figures and stuff afterwards put out nicer products than the companies.
The actual companies themselves.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. So I think the last time I got a nice statue with a collector's edition game was Assassin's Creed 3, and it's that Connor statue with him sitting on the rock with the 13 colony flag behind him.
Mm.
And that's the last statue that I remember getting that was like awesome to show off. You know.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, the God of War one and the Horizon one are pretty decent too, but. It's just like, man, sometimes, you know, there's some really nice Zelda statues out there now. Like First Four Figures is putting out a bunch of like the Breath of the Wild statues. I think they just put out Mifa, I think, is up for pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. Collector's editions are just, man, they bother me now. I used to be so big into them, and then like at some point it just started annoying me with like, why am I paying $120, $150 for this thing? And like the stuff inside is just garbage. It's just a bunch of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think that's all I can think of. Like, what are some other like trends that are currently
that get on my nerves?
Or just in general, because I want to see if it gets on my nerves. Because I'm trying to think.
Games as a service.
Now, why games as a service specifically? Because I think games as a service kind of has its place in gaming. You know,
I do too, but like they're starting to turn games that are unnecessary
or games that really need to die. Basically.
Yeah. Well, like I mean, not that I actually think this is a good game to be a game as a service, but it was recently like Skate was announced as a free to play game as a service, the new Skate game. And I'm like, man, they are just like really ready to make everything a game as a service, or it's either like they're trying to make the next Destiny, right? Like, and this is something I actually really appreciate about Outriders is that it's like it's not a game as a service game. It's just like a game that you can go in and play with your friends. It's like Borderlands to that extent, right? And I think that's why a lot of people got excited for Borderlands 3 is that like Borderlands seems totally built for a game as a service type game. And they didn't do it. And I really, as much as I don't care for Randy Pitchford, I'm really happy that they decided to take that route with Borderlands and Wonderlands, right? So. But yeah, the game as a service model really bothers me just because like not for even the reason that I just said, but like it just seems like everybody just does it wrong, you know?
Uh-huh.
I mean, look at Anthem, right? Like that game was supposed to be like the Destiny killer, right? And it it bombed.
Yeah.
But they weren't allowed, like their developers weren't allowed to study or play Destiny while they were developing the game.
That's wild. Why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Or the Division. Not that like the
So
Division is the
basically,
best
what they left
example,
it.
but
So big. What was? Are you saying they just left everything up to the quality testers?
yeah.
Wow. Smart guys.
This is how you wind up
You realize-
fucking up your game.
you
This is how
realize
you wind
it-
up doing that.
You realize they didn't even have a name for Anthem until 2 weeks before they showed it, right?
Wow.
It was called Codename Beyond, and they could not get the trademark
I
for
remember
Beyond.
that. I remember that.
Because Beyond Two
Souls.
Souls
Yep.
had the trademark for Beyond, and they had to come up with a name, and then the name didn't make sense, so they had to wrap a story around the name that they decided to create 2 weeks before the game came out. Did you know the flying
Okay.
mechanic wasn't even in the game until 15 months before the game shipped?
Are you kidding me?
They
I
put
thought that was a big draw of the game.
Nope, they put that in 3 months before they showed it off at E3. And it
Well,
ended
of course.
and it ended up being the best part of the entire game is the flying.
Of course.
And then of course you can't just fly forever because why would they let you do the best part of the game, you know?
Mhm.
So you had to fly through waterfalls and skate on lakes to cool your armor down. Ooh, who wants to do that? God, I really wanted Anthem to be awesome. I really did. And like, you know, to be fair, I don't think it was as bad as everybody said it was, but it was still pretty bad.
Yikes.
Also the Division, like I really liked the Division. And like when the Division 2 was announced, I was like, yeah, I'm ready for more Division. And after like 5 hours of playing the Division 2, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think I really wanted more Division because it was the exact same game.
Yeah, that was a letdown. When I was like, there's barely anything different about the next iteration of the game.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like last night I was talking about Dead Space because we were talking about like our favorite gaming like heroes or protagonists. Thank you,
Mhm.
Stephanie, for that wonderful article. By the way, check it out on bossrush.net. I was talking about Dead Space because the hero I expositioned was Isaac Clarke from the Dead Space franchise. And the one thing I can appreciate about every Dead Space game, you know, from the main games to the side games, is that they expanded upon what was already there in the originals and stuff like that. You know, the second game, you no longer had to do like the space jumping. You could actually spacewalk with your suit now and stuff like that. You know, or there was another thing like that. It's slipping my mind right now. Dead Space 3. I will never understand how people got pissed off about the whole universal ammo system. These are people who played 2 games where you had a dude who's an engineer that fashioned weapons out of tools and stuff like that. And you're telling me it's beyond the realm of possibility this man can't use whatever he finds to make it as ammunition for those weapons that he's crafting and fashioning? I would never understand gamers at some points. Like the stuff that's very believable, you don't believe, but the stuff that's hard to believe, you're like, oh, this is the shit.
Yeah. It also, like, on that note, like, it also annoys me that all these games are kind of becoming the same game, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and I know it's unfair, but I think Sony gets this crap a lot, is like all their games are over-the-shoulder third-person action, semi-open world games, you know?
The demographic of PlayStation gamers don't play first-person shooters.
I know.
This
but
is why
I know, but
Killzone didn't do well.
I know, but I'm saying, like, you know, it's just been like you.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, I like third person over the shoulder action games, but
I prefer it.
Mhm.
Like I get dizzy with first person games.
but then like
Yeah.
but then they like try to add something a little bit different, like
To make
Okay.
it feel like more of a first person game, yeah.
or like you know like okay, well we had Days Gone and Horizon, you know those are both open world games, right? Well, Horizon you use a bow and hunt robot dinosaurs. Okay, that's kind of cool. And then Days Gone is just another zombie game, and it's like, well, what? Like, what's? And then you have something like Death Stranding, which is an open world game, but you're just kind of walking around delivering packages and stuff, and you know, and it's just like they get a lot of criticism for their games being similar, and I don't think they're not similar, but I just feel like some of these games are just becoming too similar. But then you get something like you go over to Xbox, right, where they are trying to do a bunch of unique different things, but they're not quite at the quality, And so, yeah, I just I don't know. It just kind of annoys me. Also, gaming internet annoys me.
Gaming annoys you?
Gaming internet annoys me.
Gaming internet. Okay.
Yeah.
You mean like I get what you mean. Like how one game has like fantastic netcode, and then another game is just like, what am I doing with my life right now?
Yeah, it's
Stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, like there's no consistency,
Yeah.
And I thought this is what Xbox Live was trying to do, and I'm not saying it's Xbox Live's fault. I'm not saying that at all. But I thought Xbox Live was supposed to be like the proponent to make sure everybody's online gaming experience was exactly the same. There was no headaches, no hiccups, no hitches, and stuff like that.
Well,
And
I think initially, like especially with the 360 era, it was, to an extent. Now, granted, everybody has different speeds and
yeah,
whatever. But like, I think they did, but then like their experience was so good at the time that like there's not a lot of visual, at least, innovation, right? Like there's probably a lot of stuff under the hood that you don't know that they've changed over the years, right? But then like Sony caught up, right? And not that PlayStation Network is that high, but like it's caught
PlayStation
up.
Network has its it also has its funky parts.
Yeah, but like they caught up, right, to an extent, and so very few people can tell the difference between playing online on PlayStation and playing online on Xbox at this point. Switch, on the other hand, man, ready for them to get that dial-up modem ready to go to play online. Gosh, Switch Online is so bad. Playing online is just not fun. I wish it was, man. But if I wanted to watch a slideshow of Smash Brothers, I'd flip through old issues of Nintendo Power.
Wow,
that's all I'm saying.
That's harsh. That's harsh even by my standards.
I know.
Damn.
I think the only game that I had relatively little issue that I've played online on Switch is Splatoon and Fortnite are the two games, and everything else, man, is just kind of like, man, what are you doing? Even when we were trying to stream Mario Party with everybody, oh my gosh, that's so bad. It was fun until it wasn't, So, oh man, yeah. Anybody else have anything that annoys them about video games?
I feel like the last couple that you just highlighted are were on my list, whether I've realized it or not.
Yeah.
I feel like everything. I feel like anything else I say is gonna be like a nitpick. For example, I play around with basically all three systems now, right? And why the fuck is it that PlayStation, the Xbox scheme is pretty much the same, and then Nintendo, here we go.
Yeah, why is the A button in the wrong place?
Or vice versa. If I was a Nintendo person and I'm going to Xbox and PlayStation controllers, all of a sudden it's like, what the hell?
I mean, try playing on Switch and Xbox primarily, and you're trying to remember where the A button is when you're playing a game.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, right? Because like even if you look on both these controllers, they're not traditionally in the same spot. Where's my Xbox controller?
Yeah.
Here we go.
No, I get
it's
it.
still not in the same spot, and it's like, what?
Yeah. By the way, Xbox controller is top tier controller. By the way,
my Switch just got excited. It's like the first time I've actually pulled it out of the dock in forever, so it immediately turned on.
Is it?
Touch me! It's touching me! Oh, he put me back. Oh no!
There's still hope. Someday.
I mean, if I want to play Monster Hunter Stories 2, I know where it's at because I never got the PC version of that. So that's the Switch's saving grace right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Bayonetta 3 is going to be the saving grace for it. I'm sorry. Like
I don't feel confident about how that game is going.
I was so hyped for it, and then I'm no longer hyped.
Can I let you know on a little secret?
What's that?
Do you know which team is finishing Bayonetta 3?
What?
Do you know which Platinum team is finishing Bayonetta 3?
What?
Which team?
The Scalebound team.
Is the Scalebound team also the Babylon's Fall team?
No, but the Scalebound team had their game canceled.
Canceled, and Babylon's Fall basically was dead on arrival.
Yeah. So, I just.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, would you pointing out that the Scalebound team now it makes sense for why they have these epic monsters that she can ride now.
Mm-hmm. I don't think this game is going to be as good as Bayonetta 2. I don't.
Such a wonderful series. What happened?
Aren't
these the same guys that did Okami?
Yeah.
These are same guys. These are Studio Clover's guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't like Okami though. So.
I liked Okami for what it was. I know, honestly, the person that really sings his praise here, Boss Rush, is Ed.
Yeah.
Like one of his screen names is Okamical.
Mm-hmm. I did not like Okami. I tried.
I appreciate it. I
mean, it's not a bad game by any stretch. It's just like I appreciate what it is. I appreciate what it's trying to do. It's just not doing it for me.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, the other thing that I think kind of not annoys me, but just kind of like rubs me the wrong way, and kind of why I have steered away from certain conversations too, is like I feel like everybody is on this trajectory of having the same conversations and agreeing on, hey, these games are the good games. These games are the bad games. These games are the games that we all are going to agree is going to win Game of the Year, right?
Mm.
Like, I just feel like too many people are having the same conversations and aren't like pushing back if they don't like a certain game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because I think we need to have, not everybody can like the same games, you know?
Yeah.
And I know I get a lot of crap for this, but like Outriders was like one of my favorite, if not my favorite game last year. And that new expansion came out, looks awesome. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody even reviewed it. You know? And that kind of just makes me upset.
Well, I believe the reason why it's like that is because like Outriders came out when there was like a AAA games drought. So like it was the fresh new hotness that everybody couldn't get enough of. But now the games that people are expecting and waiting to come out are coming out now. Like Outriders is, basically like bottom bitch, in the corner,
But I don't think people were playing it when it came out. That's the thing. It was.
I
on
wasn't
Game
playing
Pass.
it. I loved listening to you guys like just go on and on about it though. Like it was like you, Austin, Stoy, the EXP cast crew, man. They were loving some Outriders.
Yeah, and Austin's like the only person I know that played Outriders and loved it as much as I did. And
Outriders didn't look like my type of game, so like it was gonna be hard for me to like get into it. And that's just me being honest.
Yeah. No, so when it was first revealed, I thought it looked really cool, and they kept delaying it. And I was like, oh no, this is gonna be one of those games that like just keeps getting delayed until it's just like delayed into oblivion and nobody cares. And then like they had that demo that came out right before the game released, and it like led you into the like your save could carry over to the main game, one of those demos. And it was that entire first section was like, oh, well, this is the part where you don't have cool powers. Nobody wants to play that version. This is just Gears of War. Why don't I just play Gears? And so, yeah, I don't know. But like once you get your powers and learn how to use them and play with other people, it's like a super cool experience. And I don't know. I wish that game did better. They still didn't make their money back on that game. Even with the Game Pass money. So. Sorry for all the bleeps and bloops, guys, in the audio feed.
Shh.
They're having a private Skype conversation outside of the podcast.
Well, I was about to say it's not that private. You can read it.
I can read it. They can't read it.
We're totally paying attention.
I know. Just like everybody else pays attention when Outriders is brought up.
No, I was maintaining the conversation.
I know.
With you
I was just kidding.
Yeah. No, I mean, Outriders look like a fun game, but I'm a hard sell on shooters. That's really it. Whether it's third person or first person, I'm a hard sell on them.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
And Outriders looks cool. It looks super flashy. It looks a little over the top, which I'm actually into those type of games.
Oh, it's super over the top, especially when you get like 8 or 10 hours in and you see this giant lava spider crawl out of this volcano and you have to fight it with your superpowers. Oh, super cool. Or like you get these guys that like, so I have this power right now where like I can I hit right bumper on my Xbox controller and it kind of marks everybody, like a little red arrow will pop up where all the enemies are, and it's super helpful. And then when guys are running at me, I can hit my left bumper and it'll turn them into, like, it'll freeze them and turn them into stone. And then I can shoot a firewall out at them and just burn them while they're turned to stone and melt them. It's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And I also have this like life regeneration lasso that I can like whip people with and steal their health. Like it'll take their health down and give it to me, which is super useful.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, enough about Outriders. Because I know everybody wants to talk about something else. I don't know.
I think we're doing good.
So, I kind of want to not be negative. Something I appreciate about games, and not every game is like this, but we're moving in that direction, is the inclusion finally of cross-play and cross-progression across systems. Right?
Yes.
And that news that Discord is coming to Xbox this week and coming to PlayStation, I think next month. I think an article came out. Like, we'll be able to use Discord with our friends, like, across thing. And, like, don't get me wrong, the team chat in Destiny is serviceable, but if, like, we can all kind of get on Discord without sitting at, like, the reason why me and my friends don't use Discord is because I don't want to sit at my desk to play games. I have a 60-inch TV out there. I want to play my games on that, And so just hopping on Destiny.
Good luck doing it. Good luck doing that though. Like you have like a family of active children.
I don't play until they're asleep. They don't stay up till midnight. They go to bed at 8 sometimes. Most times. But anyways, I think the Discord integration into these consoles is going to be awesome. I'm super excited. Yep. Super excited.
Yeah, I think if we're done with this topic, I think we can do something kind of exciting and different.
Yeah, we could probably do that.
Okay.
So, because I am the crazy cat lady of the podcast, I thought, why not share the wealth and share the happiness? Because everyone knows cats are awesome. So we kind of launched a last minute giveaway, Boss Rush giveaway, where we are going to pick one lucky winner to get a digital copy of Stray through either Steam or PlayStation. And I have the list of a potential winner in this box because I'm old school and I write down all the names on a piece of paper. And the way it happens is people on Twitter, Instagram would follow Boss Rush Network or any of our other network podcasts, and I'm going to pick a winner now. So someone do a drum roll. Yay! Okay. Winner is at Cereal Weetabix, aka Wheat. Weetabix is actually a cereal company that has a factory in Massachusetts, the state that I live in. I think the factory shut down though. So at Cereal Weetabix, we will reach out to you likely tomorrow because I'm going to bed after this, and get you a copy of Stray. Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Yay.
And I like your
Congratulations.
cereal, even though you're probably not the person that makes the cereal.
An abandoned cereal factory. What do you think that would be like? I mean, like, I can imagine like some sort of video game level in an abandoned cereal factory, and like you just shoot one of the big. I just imagine these big like corn silos full of like Fruit Loops or something, and you just shoot it, and you see all these Fruit Loops come out of it.
That would be pretty damn cool. I know that because I have a friend that lives literally like in that town or the town over, so I would drive by Weetabix whenever I'd see him. And back when it was like operational, you could smell the good smell of cereal. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a good smell. Not often do you drive by a factory and your mouth is watering and makes you crave a good bowl of cereal.
I enjoy cereal. I haven't had it in a while though. What's everybody's favorite cereal? While we're on this topic,
Corey's gonna hate. You're gonna hate my answer.
why?
Because it's got the one food that you cannot stand.
What?
Peanut butter?
Yes,
What? Peanut butter crunch?
It's like Reese's.
peanut butter crunch. Yes.
I
don't-
like
I don't hate you for
Apple
that.
Jacks,
Mm,
Kicks.
Apple Jacks. So my favorite cereal is pretty boring actually. It's Life.
Okay.
Life is actually a good cereal, though. That's the funny part.
I know,
Like
but
it's boring. It's boring when you're a kid.
yeah. But I also discovered Cinnamon Life and Chocolate Life.
Oh, Cinnamon Life is the bomb.
Yeah, Cinnamon Life is amazing.
Chocolate cereals don't do it that much for me.
So I used to love like Cocoa Pebbles when I was little.
Cocoa Pebbles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Cocoa Puffs are just, it's too much.
No, I prefer Cocoa Puffs to Cocoa Pebbles.
Oh no, like Fruity Pebbles also, man. Oh,
Fruity Pebbles are awesome.
Fruity Pebbles.
Shit, I used to make the bomb ass fucking Rice Krispie squares with Fruity Pebbles mixed in them. Woo! I'm getting hungry.
I know. But yeah, man, Cinnamon Life is the best cereal. I think it's so good, so good. Now I want some cereal, man. Come back here for After Dark and eat a big bowl of cereal.
Yeah. There's a big box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch that is really meant for my son, but I think I'm going to go grab some before we do After Dark.
Like, so Cinnamon Toast Crunch and like Captain Crunch are like, I know the big joke is like they cut the roof of your mouth, but they really do cut the roof of your mouth if you don't let them sit in the milk for long enough. Anyways, I guess we'll get out of here. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. Remember, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating or review. You can follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Podcast. Congratulations to our winner. We'll try to be more, future giveaways will be more. This was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and we thought it would be fun to get in on. So congratulations to our winner.
Yeah, we love and support our community, and we will try our best to give back.
Yeah. Join our Discord, join our Facebook group, check out our website, bossrush.net. Stephanie, where can we find you?
People can find me on the internets at Klimov, KLIMOV_author, Twitter and Instagram. Articles on bossrush.net. Keep an eye out for that Stray review that's coming out, and on other podcasts like After Dark and Standard Definition.
LeRon?
Just look for me everywhere at Exodus803. Like social media, Twitch, YouTube, PlayStation Network, Steam. Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. on my Twitch channel. I'm sorry, on my YouTube channel. I keep making that mistake, Stephanie. I did it last night, remember?
Yeah.
On my Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. on my YouTube channel, the Crossroads Video Game Podcast, where we had our wonderful co-host here, Stephanie, on the show with us last night with me, Andre, and Stoy. And also don't forget, like, if you're a patron, like, you always get to hear the early episode of Boss Rush After Dark.
It's true. You do it 2 weeks early. So if you're on a free feed and you're listening to After Dark right now, there's actually 2 episodes waiting for you over on patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. You can find me at I am Corey and HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Nintendo Pal Block, Expansion Pass, Standard Definition, and more. Like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you listen to this here podcast. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Have a good one.